card 4 is going to take a little more time because we've got a lot of pieces to put together. So first, to start off with your card base and fold it valley side out and get a nice crease on it. And I lost my one bone folder. There we go. We'll use this. Okay, so we're going to be doing a lot of little squares across the card. So let me show you like that. Okay, so it takes a little time. And what's important though is that you really use quite a bit of glue because we will be trimming the edges and stuff. So you got to make sure that you've really glued well each square. So when you trim, that it doesn't fall off because you didn't glue that part. So, and then it's also going to be extra important when we make the second version of this card too. So let's do some prep first. The peach colored rectangle there, we're going to use the little arrows and the papaya ink. So grab that out. This should be fairly easy to do. So get a little ink, about 1/16 of an inch from the edge. Just stamp the first row. And lift. And then just line up that arrow with the last arrow there and try to keep it kind of straight to where you were before. Oh, not too hard, not too bad there. Flip it around the other side, do the same thing again. About 1/16 of an inch away. And line it up. Line the last arrow up with the first arrow. And it works pretty good. Not too bad. All right. That's first part. Grab your sapphire ink and your suitcase. And then the saying on this one is, "You are my greatest adventure." Season it if you haven't already. And stamp right on that suitcase. Oops, I'm gonna get a little bit more. Let it sink in. And that's all the prep for this part so far. We'll do a little more prep on the second card. All right, set those aside. And then this is where we're just gonna it takes time. It's not really that tricky. It just kind of takes time. And I'm gonna recommend that you grab a pencil and your ruler for this first part. It kind of helps for placing the very first square. I'm trying to think if there's any other squares that, yeah, maybe we'll, I noticed that when you go under the yellow piece here, it got a little tricky. So I'm going to make sure that we do the measurement correct on that one when we get down there. So we're gonna work on the top part first. And the first one that you put down is 4A, which is gonna be one of the little suitcase pieces. And we're gonna put that at 1/2 inch down and 1.5 inches up across from the side. So here's my fold on this side. So I'm gonna go 1.5 inches. Like that, and I'm gonna take my pencil and just lightly do a little line. And then I'm gonna go at the top, 1/2 inch down. And lightly put a little line there, okay? Let me show you the line up close. All right, so that's how I'm doing it. So this piece is going to go slanted. So you're going to put it so that the left side of your diagonal here is on that left line and the top will be on the top line. Once you've done that, it doesn't have to be perfection. Put a lot of glue. Like I really filled these squares with 3 lines of runner. So stick that so that it's pointing like a diamond shape right towards the top. and it touches the 1/2 inch line and the 1.5 inch line, like that. Then take your white eraser, or your glue eraser works too. I had my white eraser out here, here it is. And then just erase those lines, like that. And that is the one that we will work out off of. So I'm not gonna necessarily go in the order that they're going. I'm gonna kind of work my own way. So the next one that I see is gonna be the blue sapphire. Again, lots of glue so that you're covering that whole piece. And then it says about 1/8 of an inch. So to the upper right of this, I am matching this line here about 1/8 of an inch. Some of it's gonna go off there, like that. And then under this, to the right-hand side of it, is going to be blue, the glacier paper. Lots of glue. And again, you're gonna just match that up like you just did, about 1/8 of an inch of the way away. So you're just making a checkerboard pattern. And then up here in between these two blues is gonna be the orange or the papaya. Lots of glue. 1/8 of an inch away from both pieces. Try to keep it straight. And then up here in the corner is going to be a darker pink. You've got light side and dark side, and this one will be dark. So I'm gonna put, this is only gonna fit on the corner, so I'm just putting on that corner that's gonna stick in there. And that's gonna go to the right, upper right of the papaya piece, like that. And there'll be a line of white. Okay, now we're gonna work to the left of this. So upper left of the suitcase piece will be glacier. And this is how you work it. Now, if you mess up, it doesn't matter. You know, if you get the wrong piece in the wrong spot, it's just basically a checkerboard. So it doesn't have to be perfect. So I'm putting that to the upper left. And not all of your pieces will be exactly the same width, you know, because you can't be perfect on your cutting every time. So to the left of the blue piece, lower left, is going to be a lighter side of peach. So all the peach on this is going to be the darker side, except this one piece here. So this will be lighter right to the left of the blue, and the upper left of that is going to be another piece of sapphire. Now, if we run out of pieces, which I think we will be okay. I was kind of looking at them, and I think we're okay on that. If we run out of pieces, it won't really matter, because when you cut off the excess of these, you'll have some extra pieces left that you can pop in if you need to. So now the dark side of the pink, of the peach, is going to go off to the side here. I think I got enough glue there. Like that, 1/8 of an inch away. And then to the lower right of that is going to be another sapphire. And I'm actually running out of sapphire squares for this one. Everything else it looked like I had enough of, but sapphire didn't seem to, so I will probably need to use some of my trimmings. So try to keep this about 1/8 inch away from the suitcases and the peach piece. Now down here in between the blue and the peach is going to be the papaya. Fill that up with adhesive. And just put that 1/8 of an inch away. Okay, like that. Down between, well, actually we're gonna skip this part because that's gonna be covered. So between the glacier here and, let's see, the glacier and the sorbet is gonna be a little bit of the honey butter pattern paper. So it's just good. You just, on that one, you're only gonna need to do towards the corner because only a little bit of it's gonna show. And that's gonna be 1/8 of an inch away, lower right of the papaya. And then between those two pieces is another peach. So get that filled up. And it just kind of goes there. All right, now that's it on the upper part. So now we're gonna go down to the lower part. And this piece, it is the honey butter one. They have you line up down here at the bottom. So it's a 1/2 inch from the side. The point's gonna be 1/2 inch from the side and 5/8 of an inch from the side, 1/2 inch from the bottom. So let me go up to the 1/2 inch. And I'm just gonna mark these spots. So it's gonna be a 1/2 inch up from the bottom and then 5/8 inch. So I'm gonna go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5/8 inch right there is where the point goes. And that's pretty much all I'm gonna need is that point. So get your honey butter piece here and then just try to make it pointing towards the top as accurately as you can. Now it's not gonna need to be perfectly in line with these ones because we're gonna have a big strip in between. So put the left-hand point on your little dot. Sorry. All right, and then to the upper left of that is going to be another suitcase piece. Lots of glue. And that is gonna just go 1/8 of an inch upper left. Below that into this spot here is blue. So I didn't have enough blue left. You probably will on yours, but somehow I didn't get enough. So all I'm gonna do is do some of my trimming early here. And just trim that excess off flush with a card base. Be careful not to cut your fold. And then I'm gonna stick that in here. Add a little more glue. And that's just gonna go 1/8 of an inch to the left of the suitcase. Like that. All right, that's the only one I should have had to cut like that, I believe. Oh, let me see. Nope, yep, I think I am. All right, so next is a little bit of papaya is gonna be here. Hardly any of it's gonna show, but that's all right. And that's gonna go upper right of the honey butter piece. And then next to that will be glacier. Lots of glue. And put that down like that. And then upper right of that will be another suitcase piece. Now this is a pattern. I know it's a little bit of a pain to put together, but this is a pattern that you can use really often. All right, see, it's not gonna match up here, but it's not gonna matter because we're gonna have the yellow across there, and that's a wide piece there. So next to this is the last piece, which should be another one of these peach pieces. Anyway, this is a good pattern to use over and over again because we all have scraps, right? Lots and lots of scraps. Okay, turn the whole thing over. Now I want you to be careful when you're cutting that you're not cutting into any fold or anything. So just trim everything flush. I like to use larger scissors. I wish close to my heart would sell some larger scissors because I love their non-stick small ones, and so having non-stick large ones, ooh, that would be so nice. So watch that fold. Do not want to cut into that. It will be very obvious if you do. So these pieces off. I'm going to save those for other cards just in case I run low. And because there's 4 cards you can make, right? So this is the basic one. That's just close to my heart's version. And I have a fun thing that we're gonna do the next part. Now I'm on the fold side, so I'm trying to be extra careful not to cut into that fold. Now, if you are nervous about that kind of thing, cutting into that fold, you can always do all of the building of that piece that we just built on white cardstock and then glue it to the card base later. Let's see how I did, make sure I didn't cut into it. Yay! Looks good. All right, next is gonna be the yellow piece for you, and that is this longer strip. And that goes up 1 1/4 inch. So that should cover up any off-center pieces as we met with the bottom and the top of these little squares. And again, lots of adhesive, and the reason is going to be evident when we do the next card. So I'm going to put that on there. That. Then we're going to go to the blue piece here, and that goes up 3/4 inch and 1 inch over. So 3/4. Lots of adhesive. You will see why in the next version. And that goes 1 inch over. All right, and the piece that we stamped. And we're gonna do some dry embossing on this later. But for this one, we won't. And that goes in the center. Very cute card. And then let's pop this one up. Get your glue dots. And it's gonna take a while because I'm using the little ones. If I were you, I'd use the bigger ones on this, but I got so many little ones because I'm always using the bigger ones. I mean, hundreds and hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of these little ones. So I need to be on myself and use these up a little bit more. All right. So I was thinking that since this is this package is about travel, that I'd love to hear any comments you had about your last trip, whatever it was, and if it was wonderful, and if you really relaxed, or if you needed a vacation from your vacation when you got back. Now, on this cruise that I just got off of, it was a 9-day cruise, 8 nights, and by the time I was done, we were quite relaxed. We really spent a lot of time just chilling and not a lot of time running around. We only did one excursion, other than I did one that didn't take any effort, where we were on this this little kind of it was a bar tour type bus where you pedaled. So that was kind of fun, but didn't take a lot of effort. And then we went snorkeling one day. So the rest of the time, though, we really relaxed, and so it was nice. And because it was 9 days, by the time we were getting off the cruise ship, I was ready to go home, where usually when I do a week cruise, I don't want to leave. But this one time I worked well. Get your hearts out. The large heart to the upper right of the suitcase, and then just below it, turn in the other way, the opposite way, another heart like that. And that is done. I mean, that's a really, really cool card. It does take a little bit more time, but I think it's worth it in the long run. So now we're gonna move on to the newer version. Pretty excited about this next card. Let's do the prep first. So the suitcase you're gonna need, and the peach piece, remember? And then you're gonna need, let's start with the papaya ink. And we'll do, I wanna make sure I'm up here so you can see, okay. Grab your arrows. I'm gonna do the same thing as we just did. This part won't change. And go 1/16 of an inch away from the side. Press down, and let's line it up. Last arrow with the first arrow. This one is not hard to do. So flip it around, do it all over again. And this one just somehow goes pretty simply. Okay, set that aside. Grab your sapphire. And then your other little stamped image, which was "You Are My Greatest Adventure." That's what I would say to my children. They are an adventure. Okay, got that done. Set that aside. We want to do a little bit of other prep too. So this piece that you just stamped, let's score that. Get either your trimmer out or a scoreboard. We're going to go vertical, and I want to go in a little bit. So I'm not going to dry emboss over the arrows. So my arrows are about, let's say 1/2 inch in on each side. So when I put this over here, I'm going to go to the first 1/2 inch mark on each side. Is that showing? Yes, okay. 1/2 inch in on that side, and then a 1/2 inch in on this side. And then I will go ahead and do, actually I'm gonna go and do 1/8 of an inch, just to add a little more interest there. And since I don't have to do the whole piece. Another thing, a fun thing you can do with this is you could always turn it to the other direction and make it crisscross type of thing. But that's what that looks like right now. Just to add a little extra interest in that. Set that aside. The other thing we're gonna need to do, let's see, I don't think we need to do it until the end. Yes, okay. So, there's one thing I wanna make sure when we do the cutting of this card base, we need to be careful because we're only going to cut the front of the card base, but we're going to do that after we place most of the card together. So if you see me actually messing up and cutting the whole card base, don't do what I'm doing. But I'm hoping I will remember to do that. So let's start again with our pencil markings. Grab your pencil. Mine is right here. So 1.5 inches in from the side and a 1/2 inch. So 1.5 inches in from the side. That folds on the left here. And 1.5. Like right there. And I'm gonna just do a gentle little line there. And then a 1/2 inch from the top. And just a little gentle line there. So then I know where to place that very first one. Can you see that okay? And the very first one will be a suitcase one. Lots of adhesive on this one because we are gonna cut this piece, not in half, but about in 1/3 or so. So point this towards the top like a diamond shape. Touch that 1/2 inch line and the 1.5 inch line. Was it 1.5? Yeah. And that will be our starting point. Now get your eraser and erase that. And then we'll just keep working like we did before. So blue was first. And I want to make sure, yep, we're almost 5 minutes in. That was a pretty fast card, considering. That can't be just 5 minutes, really? That went fast. All right, upper right, 1/8 inch away. Next to that, the papaya. We're gonna go a little faster this time because you know how to do it now. Papaya is 1/8 inch away to the lower right. Right below that one is going to be the glacier. And that goes in between those two. Okay, let's work to the upper left of this piece now, and that is going to be another glacier piece. Yeah, we are going to do another fancy cut. So 3 out of 4 of these cards we did fancy cuts on, and you can see how easy they really were to do. And I could have done it on the second one too, but it would have been very similar to the third card. So I just thought, well, I just want to show you some new ways and not just repeat. So lighter colored peach is going to go to the left, lower left of the glacier, like that. And then up here is going to be the sapphire. And that's going to go upper left of the peach, leaving some white there. Okay, now to the lower left of the peach is a darker peach. That just goes right there. It's quite a different version. There's definitely a difference between those two. Then right here is going to be another sapphire. It's a good color combination on this pack. I like it. It's not my favorite pack in the new catalog though. My favorite one is it's a hoot. I think that's what it's called. We're gonna do a papaya now. The owls in that one, and I'm not even an owl person, but oh my gosh, I love them. Can't wait to work on that pack. I think I'm doing cards on that one. All right, so there's papaya, and then over here to the lower right of the glacier, we'll put in the peach, and then we'll do that little bit of yellow. Okay, right there, and then a little of the honey butter one. I'm just gonna put it on the right hand side here because that's all that's gonna stick. Like that. Press it down. Then let's go start at the bottom. Ooh, sticking. And down at the bottom we had a 1/2 inch from the bottom, and then 5/8 of an inch over. We're just gonna put a little point, which I could have done at the top too, but I wanted to get that first one stopped. So 5/8 of an inch right here, that's gonna be the point that you're gonna work off from. Okay, and that's gonna be where the left-hand side of this honey butter one goes. Left-hand point. Lots of adhesive, and it will go off the side a little bit, or the bottom, but keep it pointed towards the top. So it's just mostly in the most diamond shape you can get there. To the upper left of that goes a suitcase piece. This is going pretty fast. And I thought this would be the most difficult card, but once you get going. All right, like that. And then down here is going to be blue. And I did happen to have enough pieces for this one. And that will go to the left of the suitcase piece. So match it up to that one. And I've got a little glue I see here. Okay, and then to upper right of this is a papaya. Just like that. And then to the lower right is glacier. Wouldn't it be fun to be the person that gets to pick the names of all the new colors? I think that'd be awesome. That could be like a reward for close to my heart people, you know, for the consultants. Get to pick the new color if you sell a certain amount this month or something. All right, suitcase piece, upper right of that glacier, and then one more piece down here, I think that will be it. Oh, I'm missing one, the upper tie. So before we go to that, you need this is a peach piece, dark side, and that's gonna go up here, upper right of the papaya, and then we need one down here. Same thing, the darker side of the peach. Oop, did I run out? I did. All right, there we go. Always have enough adhesive, right? And I ended up using the lighter side, but that's okay. All right, so that goes to the lower right of the suitcase. And then I think we're good on that. Let's carefully turn it over. Trim it off like we did before. This is where it would be so nice if I had non-stick long ones because everything sticks to these. Carefully, 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 carefully. Do not cut the fold, do not cut the white at all. We're just trimming flush all those overlapping pieces there. Here's the fold side, so I'm gonna be extra, extra careful. Take those pieces off. And up like this. And I'm gonna add a little shimmer trim in here too. And we already did our dry embossing. So your yellow piece is gonna go, what did we say before? 1 1/4 inches up from the bottom. Make sure you do a good amount of glue on this. So anybody reading any good books? I have started the new year with a new goal. Last year I had a goal of 100 and I did, I think, 96 books. And I've got my same, actually it's not a new goal, a same goal, but this time I'm going to make all 100 books. So that goes 1 1/4 inches up. Always looking for new books to read, so let me know if you've got any good suggestions there. Okay, now, what is this? 3/4 of an inch up. We're gonna put, oh, I wanna put a little shimmer trim there. So let's do that first. This is 4 1/4. So get your trimmer and your shimmer trim. And we'll do 4 1/4 here. I'm gonna go just a little bit more. And that's gonna go across the top of the yellow. See if I can get it with my nail this time. Ugh, so close. All right. I'm gonna put that across. I cut it a little bit extra long because one side wasn't completely straight. That way I can just trim it off. Okay, turn that over, trim that off. So now we have used our shimmer trim. Here's our dry embossing that we're gonna put on the blue. And then we will do a fancy fold. Okay, so put that in the center. Doesn't that dry embossing look awesome there? Look at that. Big difference. That's gonna make that suitcase stand out nicely. Get a lot of glue on this too, because we're gonna do some cutting. And this is gonna be 3/4 of an inch from the bottom. And then before we move on to putting the suitcase on, we're gonna cut this. And it's going to be in 1 inch from the side. So 3/4 inch from the bottom, 1 inch from the side. That doesn't look right. Let me make sure I'm doing this right. Oh, I'm just slightly off, that's why. Good thing I paid attention. All right. About 1 inch from the side there. And now, important part. This is what we want to do that I was talking about at the beginning. Get your trimmer. Open this up. Open it up. okay? And we are going to cut all the way from this edge to this blue frame, which is about 1 inch. So be careful as you're cutting. And hopefully my cutter is working here. Also, make sure that it's straight on. Mine's pretty close, so I'm gonna go with it. Be careful that you're cutting, that you're not cutting into the frame. Mine is just slightly crooked. Let's see if I can get that a little bit over. I'm gonna do that one more time because it was just slightly crooked. So 3/4 of an inch up. Since you're gonna be cutting right along it, we want it to be nice and straight there. So hopefully that'll do it. So you're gonna cut right next to that frame. Yep, much better. But don't cut the frame. Just cut next to it. And it may take a couple swipes, and especially on my uneven table. So I'm gonna hold this and see if I can do it down here and still be in the camera. I'm gonna push my camera back a little bit and see if that helps. Let me make sure I'm in. Good enough, okay. So you might have to go over it a couple times with your trimmer. So just be careful, go all the way down and back up. And let's see, I need to cut a little bit more, but that's just my stupid trimmer and my stupid table. Let's see. Yeah, okay. Now, that's gonna be the front of your card. And we're going to cut a little bit more of this off to make a nice white look. So, what did I do? 3/4 of an inch. So take this over to your 3/4 measurement and hold it tight so it doesn't slide. Yep, mine's sliding. I was afraid of that. I'm gonna flip mine around here just because mine, I can control it a little better. So you want to take 3/4 of an inch off it, but you want to do it on the side that matches up. So, and this is where I see already that one of my little pieces here, I'm gonna have to, I hate this table. Let me do mine one more time here, and I might be out of camera range now, but you know what I'm doing. Try harder there. What we do want, I'm gonna have to cut with scissors now. What we do want is for it to be the matchy side, right? Kind of the matchy side, so. All right, let me just trim mine because stupid table. Luckily I have a line now that I can go by. Pretty much down like that. I see I need to trim just a touch more off there and a touch more off there. Those are just those overlapping ones I didn't cut close enough. And we just want it to match this so that the yellow is in the same place, right? And then you're gonna glue this on the inside of the card. And really put a lot of glue on it so that it matches up, so the yellow goes across still. And this is just gonna be a cool way to open this card. Put it right to the edge, like that. Okay, and I'll tell you something I didn't do for this, but what would look awesome is if you took a corner rounder here and here, that would make the card look even cooler. But we're gonna just go with what we have here and get some more glue dots. Finish this baby up, and we will be done for yet another card making workshop with Creative Design Studio, brought to you by Barbara and Valerie. And I hope you guys are enjoying these, and I'm hoping you're enjoying them for free now. These are still available to buy. Have not sold out yet. So if you haven't already gotten one, now you have a whole tutorial for it. Oh, that piece doesn't want to come off. There we go. I just cut just the slightest little tiny bit there for the handle. And there we go. Pull off the little paper piece off of it. Well, this one doesn't like me. Try it again. Let's see if I get my piercing tool out there. Just need to get that little plastic piece off so it will stick down. Being very stubborn. Okay. And pull the rest of the plastic off of all these. And we're almost done. And this went much faster than I thought it would be. 21 minutes. Well, in the long run, I suppose that's about average for cards. This is going to go on here, kind of right in the center between those two lines that you stamped. And then up at the top, heart, large heart, turn slightly, medium heart, turn the opposite way, like that. And now you can see this card is going to have a cool opening. So something different. You still write in it. Make sure when you write in it that you don't write all the way over to the white. If you've got a quarter rounder, it would look so awesome there. So here's card 1 and, well, card 4. First version and second version of this card. Hope you guys had a great time, and I really, really appreciate it. So does Valerie that you are with us. See you next time.